What's up, guys? This is the 1/5 scale on natural gas Hummer. This is max steering. Oh my god. Oh man, this is the worst I have ever seen.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? Think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down.
I've had this thing for almost 2 years now. I bought this brand new from a UK distributor, the Hobby Works. We're gonna catch up a little bit more with how I got this, and we'll talk about that later. Many of you guys have been asking me, where is this on my channel? Actually, let me make a correction. Absolutely not a single person ever asked me to make another video on this, so I figured, why not? I break out this original piece of trash right here. I don't know what to call it. It's an original piece of trash. This might be, and I'm gonna make the theme of this video, the worst brand new gas 1/5 scale you can buy. Let's take a look at some of the clips throughout my ownership experience, kind of a recap of the couple of videos I did so far on this. We'll go from the unboxing to the first start, and then we're gonna come back, remove the body. I ran this thing today. There will be a little bit of running footage, and we'll talk about all the things that I had go wrong with it and why this has yet to make another channel appearance on my channel. What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's finally here, my cheap bargain 1/5 scale gas FS Racing Hummer. This is the one I paid $377 for, then I got pretty much raped without being taken to dinner for, and I had to pay an extra $90 for shipping. So my all-in cost on this thing is $490. There it is, in all its glory. Seems undamaged. The box did its job really well. I feel like I just got some free Starbucks without having to pay for it. Here it is. Man, this thing is heavy. Look at this, guys. Man, this thing is cool. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the Hummer likes it, guys. The Hummer likes it. Rough terrain. Any tires from pretty much any Baja or any other hobby grade RC will fit over here. You'll have no problem. You could also put these on and onto the Baja. Check out, I actually did just that. See how cool it looks on my Baja, even though the other tire on the side is actually the upgraded trencher style tire. Don't get too excited. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of weirdness going on. The body is pretty, generic and standard. It seems like a little bit crooked. You see this line right over here? I'm not sure if that's from shipping or whatever, but it seems already crooked from the factory. Not a good sign. This is a 30cc engine with a Rofun carb. That's gonna have to be tested. We'll see how that goes, but you know what? I'm sure it's fine. Ironically enough, they advertised this to do 50 miles an hour on the website. Man, 50 miles an hour for a single speed gas truck with generally a worst of the worst engine. I don't even see it hitting about 35. That's gonna be optimistic on my side. But hey, that's up to me to find out and to test it all for you guys. If you bought one of these thinking you're gonna get 50 miles an hour out of it, and then you get like 29, you're gonna be pretty upset. So make sure your expectations are not that high, and honestly, you should wear a nice white shirt to make sure that you dress for success, which is what I generally do now. Is this for a shot of vodka? Oh yeah, it could definitely hold a shot of vodka, probably even two. You could put them up like this. Could even be for some champagne, if you buy this and you're the affluent type, so vodka or champagne works. What about a beer stein? Let's see what happens. No, it's just not big enough for a beer stein. So you know what? You guys can't drink beer while you're driving this RC. Just don't do it. Be careful. Either have some vodka or have some champagne, right? You can't really have both together because they don't fit. Oh, they do fit. Interesting. Wow. So this thing comes with, I think, a 25 kilogram servo, and the brand is Servo. So you definitely know for a fact that you're getting a steering servo. I kind of like that. They're really sure of themselves, this company. And it looks like a small piece has already kind of come out. The inside rubber grommet on the fuel cap, it looks like some kind of weird glue is already beginning to come off. You could see that right over here. So we'll do something about this later. It looks like there's some kind of stopper inside here, kind of like a lawnmower. Oh, here we go. That is weird. It's like a pentacle looking type of thing. I mean, was this thing designed by Satan, or maybe it was designed for Satan? I'm not sure, but I do know for a fact that I am not a Satanist. Okay, so here's a non-Satanist fuel cap. This is from my Red Cat. It's the same exact size as the one on a Rovan. Let's see if this actually fits. It looks like it's a much larger fuel cap. Okay, yeah, nothing. It's a completely different size. So the threads here do not fit. That's pretty much a major disappointment. You could tell if you examine them up close. Other than this one belongs to the Church of Satan right over here, right? They're not the same size of fuel cap, so that's a disappointment in itself. Blah, blah, blah. And then there's some more blah, right? There you go. I read the whole manual. Just like the Rampage, this thing has a receiver box that is already pissing me off. Notice all these screws inside here. So every time you want to charge a receiver battery pack, you're going to have to undo all these screws. I mean, honestly, that is very irritating. I don't know why they couldn't have just used the simple Tamiya style charging plug that's available on every single HPI Baja clone. Another thing, look at this power on off switch. It is literally right by the hot engine. So every time you want to turn this thing on and off, man, look at that. It's right by the motor. Who thought of this design? It's weird. It's as if no one really ever used this receiver box. Weird. Why couldn't they have just mounted it here right on the other side? That would have been perfectly logical. Let's check out the servo strength. Oh my God. What the hell is that? That is the worst turning radius I have ever seen in my life. What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is a part 2 video on my 30cc gas ready to run FS Racing Hummer. Oh man, oh. You could always use your FS Hummer right over here as a bar. What am I going to be doing? I'm actually going to be using this cool ledge here in the back of the chassis. I joked around about this in the unboxing video, just how much it actually protrudes out of the back, that you could in fact stick a shot glass on it. And I'm doing just that. Unfortunately, I did come down with a bit of a cold. Okay, the pouring station is prepared. Let's see this happen. Here we go. Full serving of some nice cold and flu medication. Look at that. Perfect bartender, guys. You don't even have to tip it. Cold medicine tastes terrible. Let's move on to something better. Alright guys, we got my Rovan Baja buggy right over here against the enormous Losi MTXL. Look at how big this thing is compared to the Baja. Nice. Okay, we have the remote on. Let me show you once again how terrible the steering is. The receiver battery is all charged. Look at this, guys. This is max steering. Oh my God. Oh man, this is the worst I have ever seen. I've never seen such a small underpowered pack in a fit scale RC, but you know what? It does the job just fine. Obviously, you just basically got to charge this more. I probably will be putting in a larger 2500 milliamp hour capacity from a Red Cat in the future. Correct something I said about the fuel cap in the last video. Let me just take it out. I just wanted to make sure you guys all know that this is not a Satanist symbol. This is the anarchy symbol. So for all of you guys that corrected me, I'm really happy that you know. I'm not going to ask you how you know, but hey, FS Racing is into the anarchy, so I wonder what it's going to run like. Hopefully it doesn't give me a nightmare. Okay, let me spin the pull start a little bit. This is a good opportunity to test for a spark, so let's see if we could see anything coming out of here at the electrode on the bottom. Yep, we got spark, guys. I could see it. Okay, time for a compression test on the Red Cat. I got 120, which is really high. Anything above 100 is good. Exactly the same, 120 psi. The Red Cat and this one are actually the same. I'm actually not surprised that the Red Cat and the FS Racing have the same 120 psi compression. In fact, these are probably the same exact motors. Let's stick it down the spark plug hole. Let's see what we see inside. Alright, looks nice in there. You see this little arrow right over here on the computer? That is pointing towards the exhaust port, which is normal. I've actually seen this arrow in my Rovan, so that's kind of nice actually. It looks pretty clean inside. Obviously it's a new engine, but over time we're going to check inside and see if there's any buildup from the actual castor oil that I'm going to be using this time. Let's cycle the pull start, see what it looks like. Here we go. Yep, not bad. As expected. Here's a good size comparison of the FS Hummer. I have it right up against my Rovan and my Red Cat. Now clearly the Red Cat is bigger. It's actually bigger than the Rovan buggy, surprisingly enough. I'm going to call this the unnatural gas Hummer. What's up guys, welcome back. This is part 3 of my video series on this FS Racing Hummer. Let's open up the manual, see what they have to say. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interesting things. Imported by Nitrogang Limited, which is normal, from Cheshire. There you go, shout out to all my Britain fans. Let's first look at the start engine right here. Before starting engine, please read the instructions carefully. 1. Engine friction practice. I think they mean break-in. Let me read this bullet. The engine friction practice, to be basic, it should burn and practice 1 to 2 cylinder fuel, then walk slow and burn 1 to 2 cylinder fuel. At the moment, it could be work normal and perform good. Right, I do not even know what this is. It says impetus front valve several times until safely flow out oil. They're definitely saying to prime the primer bulb until you see fuel inside, which is normal. Close the air throttle. I think they're talking about the choke. I normally don't use that. Blah blah blah. Repeatedly pull the start handle until the engine start work and sound noisy. Okay guys, so when the sound noisy, you're good. I don't particularly like the design of this fuel tank. Notice what I have to do to get this spout in here. It's basically flat, not like an angled design, just like every other RC I've seen. Usually the gas cap is on an angle that makes it very easy to pour. I already spilled some right over there. Gotta go clean it up. There's a large drop of oil here and one a little bit to the left of the center drive shaft. Now it looks like it's just oil coming from the actual can exhaust. To investigate the issue a little bit further, I took this thing inside, I removed the can exhaust. Everything looks to be okay. I cleaned up the oil on the bottom of the chassis. Right now I'm gonna go outside, do another heat cycle. The only thing that I think it could possibly be is this exhaust gasket. It is extremely cheap and thin looking. Now I know I put down the Red Cat exhaust gaskets before, but hey, they definitely do not leak. I got this thing a little bit of a gift. It's a sticker. Let's see what the sticker says. I'm going to call this the unnatural gas Hummer. What can I say? You gotta get your RCs gifts as well. They're not only gifts for us to have fun with, but hey, you gotta make sure that they're in a good mood to make sure that they don't piss you off in the future. But for now, let me just say thank you to all the new subscribers. If you're a current subscriber, thanks so much once again. Make sure you flood those comments. I really enjoy taking about a half an hour to an hour every day to write back to all of you. And before I go, let me tell you right now, there is less than 2 months before I go and pick up the world's largest 1/5 gas ready to run monster truck. That's right, you know what I'm talking about, the Primal MT.
It's just one of those days where you don't want
to... Did you see all those problems I had with this? Just a bunch of weird stuff, but that's not it. Today was actually the first time I ran this in quite some time. So now, let's go to the RC track. I had someone else record me running it. I wasn't even really prepared to even drive it because this thing is just such a piece of... By now, you must be asking yourself, and I'm talking to you out there, all of you watching this, what is really the big deal? Why haven't I run it after all this time? Is it the terrible steering? Is it like the weird everything else over here? No. The actual problem was the fuel caps. Let me remove the body right now, guys. Okay, and I'll show you what the main situation was. I had to go to Home Depot today and pick up this Ryobi fuel cap kit. So it came with 2 fuel caps, one like this larger one and one that I've already taken out of here and put it into the car here. I'm no fuel cap expert, but I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to come in 2 pieces like this. So the pentagram fuel cap, right, turns out it broke apart just like this. And the main problem, this fuel cap size is not like any other fuel cap that I've ever seen from any other gas RC I have. I had to get a fuel cap kit, right, from Home Depot, and this is the one we're using now. So it's like a Ryobi power equipment one, you know, I guess from like some kind of lawn equipment. Basically, that's what it comes down to. I did not have any spare parts, not even a spare fuel cap, for about a little over a year, I would say. And I really just haven't run it. Otherwise, the thing runs okay. You know, if you like the terrible handling, as you saw in the video. If you like, you know, when you're pressing the brakes and the entire rear end hops around. If you like having delayed steering response about 2 seconds after you steer, you have a little bit of movement with the steering over here. Other than that, you know, it's very slow. I was basically at almost full throttle. Now, unfortunately, I did not record the worst part. there was a whole bunch of smoke coming off of the entire clutch bell area over here. Now I checked it, nothing seemed to have been on fire, there's no oil here, I cleaned this up fairly well. I'm a little scared that the clutch itself has worn. I only drove this for maybe a couple minutes, guys, and this thing was not having it. You know, thank God it's only a two-wheel drive chassis, although it might look like a four-wheel drive. It's not. It's in fact only a two-wheel drive. This brand does sell a conversion kit that you can install a drive shaft in the front here, and you do have like a grommet in the front where the diff normally is situated. But guys, that's it. I really didn't even want to do a whole video on this truck. That's why I just clipped together a couple of my old clips from long ago, because I just had so much extra material. I don't think this thing deserved any extra work. But don't worry, I'm still gonna run this thing. You wanna know why? Because this is still a real internal combustion gas engine. It still runs rich, it still runs loud, and it's still way more fun than most electrics that money can buy. See you later. Nitro.
So fine, but her breath is like ooh. She says she wanna dance, but she don't know how to ooh. I'm iced out, ooh, looking like a star. Ooh. Her name is Jenny, ooh, bitch don't have no panties. Ooh. I'm Steph Curry, when I hit the three, I hit the...
What's up?
I don't want to hear this once a day. Come on, let's get big. Come on.